Plaintiff Liz Garrison rented a room in the defendant's basement, and she claims living with him was a nightmare. Liz claims the defendant was verbally abusive and once spit in her face. Today, she's suing for a rent refund and a security deposit. Defendant Michael Warner says while Liz and her girlfriend were living in his basement, they often got into drunken fights. Michael claims one night he was awoken at 4:30 in the morning to Liz and her girlfriend in a full-out brawl, and he's countersuing for labor and the cost of a steam cleaner.
Start with you.
I had met this gentleman in May. I was inquiring about a room for rent in a basement. When I met this gentleman, he had hot pink hair. He told me his full-time job is a clown, and he mentioned that he was training his dog to do circus acts. He also mentioned that I asked questions, about the room.
What do you do?
I am a full-time chef at the Hilton.
All right, so you were renting the basement. What was the agreement?
It's $600 a month. I paid in the middle of the month for the next following month. And that's pretty much it, $100.
Do you know what that middle means? Is that the 15th?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, and how did it go living there?
Let me just tell you, Your Honor, living with this man has been a nightmare. It's just been one thing after another. He's been hostile, confrontational. Yeah, at one point in time, he was this close to my face, screaming at me and calling me outside of my name, calling me the C word, and he spat right in my eye, and It was just not pleasant at all.
Now, what would provoke, or why would he do these things? What would happen?
The night that I'm talking about,
Not
I had...
other ones, because just not talking about one instance. Give me some of the others.
Okay, yes, sir. He had called me the C word. He followed me downstairs to my living space. Why?
Yes.
I'm not sure why. I had come home.
You want to ask him?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, go ahead, ask him.
Why?
Because you were drunk and belligerent and kicking in my back door, you had called 911, and they did not respond. I just really wanted you to go downstairs and pass out.
I did call 911 non-emergency number. I was not drunk, sir. No, I had just come off of a...
You didn't kick his door?
I got off a 12-hour shift from work.
Answer my question. Did you kick his door?
No, sir. I knocked.
Okay, well, that's why you knocked?
Knocked.
Okay, good enough.
That's not true.
And did the police come?
No, it was a non-emergency number. She said, well, if you're locked out, why don't you call
You called 911?
I called the non-emergency number, yes, sir.
Okay, and nothing happened? Give me another incident.
He followed me downstairs, like he ran down the stairs like he was going to fight me. He followed me to my truck as I was leaving, as he requested me to do so.
What caused that?
The same night. The same heat.
No, I was talking about a different incident then.
Plaintiff Liz Garrison rented a room in the defendant's basement, and she claims while living there, the defendant was verbally abusive and even spit in her face.
Give me a different night. You say he always did these things. You said it was a nightmare.
There was another instance before that. He was upstairs yelling and screaming at the top of his lungs to his wife, telling her that, well, you can be unwelcome too, and other things.
That's all he did to you?
He's just very verbally abusive.
No, you need to tell me. I'm not going to let you just make these allegations without you giving me examples. So far you've told me he says you were drunk and belligerent and he had to take action. He says you kicked the door. You say you just hit the door. He says you did not call 911 on him. You say you just called some other service, but it was some type of city official or city office. So now I've asked you about a second incident, told you to give me another one. Your explanation is he was yelling at his wife.
Oh, that was the only
instance. He just
instance.
told you, you can go too. So give me another instance.
I believe that was it, because after that I had vacated like he asked.
Okay, so you told me he did these things all the time. He was very abusive, but now only example you can give me is that one incident, and then the other one, he was yelling at his wife and just happened to say, you leave too if you want. Go ahead, sir. Let me hear about the tenancy that you all had together, how it began, and then what it was like. She described what she felt it was like. She said it was a nightmare all the time, but now we know it was 2 incidents. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the first week or 2 that she moved in, everything was fine.
When was that?
Late May. About 2 weeks into it, the first drunken brawl happened. That one, I'm sorry, was not a brawl. Gay Pride weekend, they had a guest over, her and her girlfriend. had a guest to the house. Liz did not come home from work that night. Her girlfriend proceeded to make noise and bang walls all night long while she was gone. I went down before work to make sure everything was going to be okay. She had crushed a light bulb in her hand.
Did you get a chance to speak with her?
She had rubbed blood all over my...
Did you get a chance to speak with her?
Yes, I did. I spoke with her, and
why did she say she was doing it?
She was very upset that Liz didn't come home. She thought that Liz was out at the Pride Fest without her, or possibly cheating on her.
Okay. How did that end?
That ended with her finally calming down. I thought she was going to go and pass out, and so I very reluctantly went to work. I worked 7 days. I really can't be late.
Gotcha.
So I left for work.
All right. Is there another incident?
Oh, yeah. Definitely another incident. About 2 weeks later, it was the 20th of July. I woke up approximately 4:30 a.m. to a major commotion in the basement, so much so that you could feel the walls through the upstairs. Lots of yelling, lots of banging. I ran down. I was very worried about my house. I was very worried about the safety of my house. They were in a drunken brawl. They had kicked in doors. They both immediately ran to me like some type of mediator, blaming the other one. And that ended quite the same way. I just wanted it to end and be
Was
quiet.
there anything else? Any other incidents?
Oh, and then there was the aforementioned incident of her at approximately 1:30, I guess knocking on the door very hard with her foot, so much so that the top
Why do you
board
think she knocked with her foot?
I'm sorry?
Why do you think, and how do you know she knocked with her?
She was kicking the door. I was on the other side of the door. While she was kicking it, I was very scared to unlock it for fear that the door burst
Why
open.
was
and
she
hit me.
doing this? Why do you think she did that?
Because she had forgotten and or lost the key to the back door.
Got it. That's what she said. She couldn't get in. All right. So far we have your allegation is that one night her girlfriend was destroying your property. Another time she came in at 4:30 a.m. and they had a drunken brawl. And another time was the 1:30 a.m. incident where she was kicking in the door. Did you and your girlfriend destroy his property in the middle of a fight?
No.
That never happened? That incident never happened?
No, that
He
was...
made that up?
we were in a heated argument, but nothing was destroyed.
So you did
And
have
it
an
was...
argument with your girlfriend that night
sir.
at early in the morning?
No, I was going to work, and it was 5 a.m., between 5
That's
and
early
7.
morning.
Yes, sir. It was just a heated argument about him.
Did he have to come down and interrupt?
No, he came down there, bursted into
So
the
that's
room.
what I'm asking. The story about...
Crap.
Why are you looking like that? Are you all right?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Just a little
Little
frustrated.
what? You going to be able to get through it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Trying to find out what happened because you're telling totally different stories and yours doesn't sound reliable. First, you didn't even know why he did this stuff. You said,
Don't.
I asked you to ask him, why did you do it? And then you did remember once he told you. Remember, he said you kicked in the door and you didn't remember it because you said you did it because you didn't have your key. Remember? You did remember after you asked him.
Plaintiff Liz Garrison rented a room in the defendant's basement, and she claims while living there, the defendant was verbally abusive and even spit in her face.
What are you suing for?
For back rent in August, he had asked everybody to leave. We did, and I have in text messages that he said, yes, I do owe you this money, and
Owe
you will
you what
get it.
money? How much?
The back rent for August is $600, and I have it in text
Why did he
format.
say he was asking you to leave?
I never said I owed her money.
Okay, she says she has text messages she's going to show me. All right, why did he ask you to leave?
He said for fist fighting.
Oh, okay. You think that's a good reason?
I would say so.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good reason.
It's a pretty
to
good
me.
reason.
Yeah.
I would
You
ask
have the
for
evidence that he said he'd repay you? He denies that. Sir, why don't you describe what occurred and whether you told her you'd repay her? She says she's going to provide me evidence that you did, and this is going to blow your case up. Then I'm not going to know who to believe. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I asked her to leave. I told her I would not accept any more rent from her on that 20th argument, which she had already paid for August, so she could have stayed or left for August. I didn't really care. When she moved out, it was well into her next month. Therefore, I didn't refund her any money. It was not the 23rd when she moved out. It was more like the 27th, 26th at the earliest.
And you never told her you would give her any?
I never told her I would prorate anything.
I didn't say that. She said you told her through text that you would give her money back. I asked you, and you said, no, I never told her that.
No. I
You never told her that?
No.
All right, let me read
sorry,
to you what it said. Huh?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, what are you apologizing about first?
Because I misspoke. I did not say I would refund any of her money after the 23rd.
Okay, you did say it. I just read it. All right, have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff. Perjury, I'm going to dismiss your claim and grant her the judgment. You want it?
Yes.
Are you all right?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you.
I'm ecstatic. I've been living...
Aren't you the plaintiff?
Yes, sir. I've been living
I said on judgment for the plaintiff, and you looked at me. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your claim is dismissed.
I will never live in your house of mouse.
I'm glad the whole thing's over.
As I am.